No? And there's definitely an echo today. No, there's something, yeah. It's different.
In the self-scouting process, what did you learn about the team?
Yeah, that's not information that we'll give out, because obviously we'll use a lot of that this week and weeks coming. But we worked hard. It's a huge, important part of the process, which obviously that we benefited from last year as well. And it's just, there's a lot of man hour. I really appreciate our quality control coaches, Alex Tanney, with what he did, TJ Pagnetti, Eric Dickerson, Roy, the defensive guys, and then the special team, Tyler Brown, Joe Casper, DK. Like they worked really, really hard. Because they had to put a lot of man hours into that, to get that ready for our coaches, for the rest of the coaches to look at on Monday after the players leave, and then Tuesday and Wednesday. So they did a lot of man hours. Our analytics department did a lot of man hours. A lot of people put in a lot of time to get that information to us, and then we spent a lot of time on it. And so we grinded, and we'll be better because of it.
How much is Friday off?
They got Friday off.
How much time did you spend watching the Phillies?
I did. I mean, I watched the game. I can't say that I've, growing up the fan of the baseball team that I grew up liking. I'll keep that to who I like to myself. I can't say that I've watched a baseball game in a long time, in the sense of, just sat there and watched a baseball game because that team that I like, that I liked. All right. They haven't had many successful postseason attempts, so it's fun. I'm glad to say now I'm a Phillies fan, and yeah, that Saturday night game was fun. That was fun. I mean, I didn't watch any college football that night. That's what I watched, the Phillies game. A lot of fun to watch. That's a fun team. Man, I just look at that team and I think about the way they connect with each other, and because you want to emulate good teams, and you want to see what makes good teams, right? They connect with each other. They're always celebrating together. It's fun to watch. All those different things. They went through adversity throughout the year and came out better because of it. And my hat's off to their, to their coaches and, to their players for, having dog mentality to go and control what you can control. So it's been a lot of fun watching it. I got home yesterday. My son was sleeping. One of my sons was sleeping. He was wearing his Harper jersey, and so I think that's really cool, and obviously really excited. We're busy this week, obviously, to get ready for our stuff, but Friday and Saturday we'll have a little time to watch it. Next week won't have as much time to watch anything, just being on a short week. But I look forward to watching the games I can watch and continuing to root them on.
Is any of that going to creep into your messaging to your team?
As far as, we have our own current messaging going on. I don't know exactly what they're saying as their message, but it is fun I think it's fun for all of us to watch it. But yeah, of course, at some point I probably use a dog mentality thing with what they went through in the season. So at some point, yeah, the connecting. I know we used a connecting clip last year in one of the team meetings of the 92 Phillies. Is that with 93? Sorry. With those, I remember, just some of the clips that we show how much they enjoyed being around each other. So yeah, I mean, imagine that we will at some point. I know there were some situational things that were in question from the Padres that I've heard a little bit about. That situations are situations. Now, do we have to decide if we're going to bunt or not in a certain situation? No, but handling situations is handling situations, and so maybe that's going to be on our Saturday situational meeting this week. We'll see.
Is Lane out of concussion protocol?
He's still in what do we call it? The protocol. And we'll see how it goes.
Anything else lingering from Dallas?
No, we're hopeful everyone can play. We'll get you that injury report later today, but we're hopeful.
As far as the self-scout, because last year your bye was a lot later in the season, this year you didn't have the larger sample size. Is it easy to find those themes? I know you don't want to talk about it, but Can you rely on it as much?
Yeah, I think you can. 6 games is a good sample size. I was looking at a couple things, and I saw that the 2016 Eagles had the bye week on the 4th week. I'm like, oh my goodness, that is early. So I think 6 weeks. I think there's a lot of information out there. Especially when you're talking about what you want to do better, different things like that. It tells that you have all these different things. There's a lot of information out there that, like I said, we were able to use. I thought the sample size is good.
In terms of the trade deadline, Howie's been very active in years prior. Where does your voice factor into that, especially as it relates to bringing in a new person into what is already a pretty tight and successful locker room?
Sure. We talk about everything. We'll talk through everything on every situation. That's what's special about this building. That's what's great about Howie. We talk through everything. That's schedules. That's everything. I mean, that's stuff on football end, the stuff on the front office end. So we'll talk through everything. Watch things together. I know. Sometimes I'm in meetings most of the time, but we find time together to watch things together and go through it.
How important is that to you, that the person who's brought in can fit in?
Yeah, I think that's always an important. That's always something you look at everything, and you have a good. We know we have a good culture. We have good teammates. We have good players on this team, and you want whoever you bring in to be able to fit in. Now, one thing I do know about this team, and I've seen it over and over and over again, is the leaders on this team, the guys on this team, have embraced the new players. Right, we saw it with Cam. Right, they put their arms around Cam as soon as he got here. He ends up making a big kick. Chauncey didn't go through the where we did a lot of our growth together with connecting and everything like that in the training camp in the off season, but it was the same thing. And same thing with James. Like James wasn't here in the off season; he was here in training camp. So we've seen it on. Okay, a guy coming in like Hassan was here for all off season, right? Everyone, welcomes him. Then James doesn't get here until training camp. It's the same thing that everyone welcomed him and made him feel part of the team. Then Chauncey comes after training camp, and then Cam comes in after. So the trend of what I see on this team from our leaders and our guys on this team is that a lot of guys can fit into this team because of the leaders that we have.
What did you think of Kenny Pickett when he was coming out of Pitt, and what do you think of the way he's developing?
Yeah, I was a big Kenny Pickett fan. I thought he was a really good football player. He did a lot of really good things. He had one of the best seasons since a guy named Marino over there, right? Which is darn impressive. And so, man, I thought he was an accurate passer. I thought he was a quick decision maker. I thought he was a very good, underrated guy with his legs, right? He had one of the coolest plays that anyone's seen in that ACC championship game when he pretended to slide. The guy stopped, and then he went for a touchdown, so much so that they made a rule about it, right? And so I think that he, I thought also very intelligent. As far as football intelligence was off the charts, and I thought he was really good. And then getting into how he's playing, and everything, you're just going to keep seeing him get better. I just think from the everything I know about him, I think he'll continue to get better, and because I think he's got a lot of tools.
Obviously the break would help, veteran guys, some of the older players. But how do you think it helps someone like Jalen Hurts? What can he get out of it?
Yeah, I mean, shoot, same thing. Like Jalen's a coach, right, on the field, right? He's a quarterback who grew up in coaches meetings and everything like that. He's going to study it very similar. The quarterbacks are going to study it very similar to the way the coaches are, and look at the things that we have tendencies and all those different things and get better from that. So, obviously we sent Jalen a packet of what we did, a book of what we did, and gave him summary notes of it as well, so he could study it, and we were talking through it, and as we would with all the other coaches.
You mentioned the role of the analytics department in the self-scouting. How has your relationship with them grown?
Awesome. I can't say enough good things about them to have that extra information that you get, right? This analytics department is unbelievable, right? And so you get information that that you add to your studies and everything like that to help put pieces together, and they've been awesome. And I can't say enough good things about all the guys and girls that work in that department, and how much they've helped us, for the 2 years I've been here.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.